A customer support chatbot is an AI powered assistant that automates responses to common customer queries, reducing human workload and improving response time. Now, using DeepSeek AI, we can build a smart FAQ chatbot that understands and responds to customer inquiries. Now, why use an AI powered chatbot for customer support? One, for instant responses. AI can handle multiple queries simultaneously. 24/7 availability. It supports customers anytime, anywhere. Is cost effective, reduces the need for a large support team. Consistent answers, ensures accurate and standardized responses. And finally, improves customer satisfaction. Quick resolutions enhance the user experience. Let's look at some of the common use cases. One, e commerce support, where you can do order tracking, returns, and product details. Banking and finance, for account issues, transactions, and FAQs. In healthcare, for appointment booking and symptoms checker. In telecom, for billing, plan details, and troubleshooting. In education section, we can use it for course inquiries, deadlines, and policies. Now, how the customer support chatbot works. The chatbot will receive a user query, how can I track my order? It will analyze intent using DeepSeek AI. Next, it will fetch an appropriate response from the predefined FAQs and then return the response to the user. Here is an example customer query. How do I return a product? AI response should be, to return a product, visit our returns page, enter your order ID, and follow the instructions. Returns are accepted within 30 days. Let's talk about building the AI powered customer support chatbot. Let's create a Python script for our chatbot using DeepSeek AI, where we'll follow the same three steps. Step one is for install dependencies. Next, we're going to create a Python script, and finally, we'll run that script. So let's go ahead. I already created a project 6 folder and it's empty. I'm going to go here. Let's see. Can go to cd project 6, clear it out, and here let's go ahead and install. I want request and gradio. Again, we've already installed those, so it should be pretty quick. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do a step 2, which is new file. Save this file as customer underscore support underscore bot.py. So that's my file. It's saved here. And here I'm going to first start with importing our libraries. I will say import request. Next, I'm going to say import gradio as gr. Next, let's create the DeepSeek API URL. Here I'll say Olama URL equal to http localhost 11434 API generate. That's what I'm going to use. Next, let's create a sample FAQ database. So let's say if you have an FAQ database, you can use it here, but I'm going to create a sample one. I'll create a dictionary where I'll say if it's order tracking, you can say you can track your order by logging into your account and navigating to my orders. If it's return policy, I'll say we accept returns within 30 days. We'll say customer support contact. You can reach customer support at example.com or call us at 1-800-555-1234. If it's payment methods, I'll say we accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and Apple Pay for secure transactions. If it's related to shipping details, I'll say orders are processed within 24 hours. Standard shipping takes 3 to 5 business days. Close this. Next, let's create our chatbot response function, which will take user query and will process it here with a prompt. I'm going to say prompt equal to find the best match for the FAQ database for the customer query, this query that I have. And I'll say available FAQ is list FAQ database, this database dot keys. I'll pass that to with this prompt, and I'll say provide a response based on the closest matching FAQ based on what user have entered. So based on the user query, it will pick one of these items from this list, and then that's the response that we want to return back. Create my payload again. DeepSeek R1 prompt is what I'm passing here, stream equal to false. Next, I'm going to get the response by saying request dot post. I'll give the URL, Olama URL, JSON payload is what I'll pass here. And if the response dot status code equal to 200, I'll say AI response equal to response dot json dot get response based on what the response came back, or I'll say I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that. Next, return FAQ dot get AI response. So from this FAQ I need to pick depending on which one the prompt provided back. I'll say dot lower AI response, return the AI response or predicted answer based on what was provided. I'll give that. Next, if there was an error, I'll say return sorry I couldn't process your request. Now let's test the customer support chatbot by saying if name equal to main, as a sample query is how can I return a product? It should probably go and give me the return policy in this particular case. I'll say print chatbot response and I'll say print chatbot response with this sample query. I'm going to go save this file and then our last step or step 3 is to say Python customer support bot.py. It will run this project. It will go and call this, provide this prompt where it will give the user query or different FAQ database keys here, and then it will try to get a reply from DeepSeek AI about which one is the right one, and based on that, that will be returned back, and that's what I should see here. It says FAQ provides the necessary, so it says return policy. The FAQ provides the necessary information on how to initiate and manage the product. So it says return policy, which means it got me this answer. Again, the response is pretty dominant here. That's why I didn't exactly pick the item from there. It just picked the AI response. But as you can see, it kind of picked return policy. I'll probably have to like make it more appropriate to just pick the right item from the list, because it's in the response, it's giving me the entire structure here. Or another thing I can do is I can pass this entire query to the AI, DeepSeek AI, and then it will provide me the right response based on what is picked from there. So it's perfect. We have the app running where we tested the customer support chatbot. Next step is creating a web app for the chatbot. So if I want to create a web app for this, all I have to do is like first modify the customer support bot to use the Gradio. Next, I'm gonna run the web app. So let's go ahead to our application, to this project, and as usual, I'm gonna comment this out and move this a little bit to the bottom. And here on line number 40, I'll start writing the interface. So I'll say first create Gradio interface equal to gr.interface. Next, I'm going to say function is chatbot response, which is this function. And then I'll say inputs equal to gr.textbox, lines is 2, placeholder ask your customer support question. Next, I'm going to say outputs equal to gr.textbox, label equal to chatbot response, title is AI powered customer support chatbot, description is ask a question and the AI will respond with the best matching FAQ answer. Close it. I'm going to go ahead and launch the web app. If name equal to main, I'll say interface.launch. So I'm going to go ahead, save this, go back here, clear this out, paste this, run it, and it should give me a URL which I can open in Chrome here. And here I can ask a question. I can ask the same question and it should give me the same type of answer for return policy. So I will say, where is it? Here. I'll copy this and I'll put it here, submit, and it should give me the return policy back. It took a few seconds, and as you can see, it says response. The return policy provides detailed information about the steps to follow when returning a product, including eligible criteria, requirement, documents, and any applicable. So now I can use that and then just get from the return policy here the values that I have here. So that's the next step for this. But anyways, I'm going to move on to next section, which is enhancing the customer support chatbot. Now, what about handling unknown queries? If there's no matching FAQ is found, the AI should generate a polite fallback response. So for that, I can always go back here and in the return section where it's returning me the sorry I couldn't process the order, or here I'm sorry I don't have an answer. Instead of that, I can probably have more like return I'm sorry I couldn't find an answer. Please contact support@email.com for further assistance. So this is what you should probably be doing mostly. I'm going to go ahead and comment this out. Next is multi-language support. To support different languages, we can modify the thing here by saying find the best match for the FAQ database for this customer, I can say I can kind of modify this best or provide a response based on the closest matching FAQ in language that can be passed as a query. I can just say language equal to English here, something like that. So default to that, and in the prompt itself you'll have to probably specify the language that you want the reply to be. Next, deploying as an API. Now if I want to deploy this as an API, the two steps that we followed is first installing fast API and then creating app.py. Now again, to integrate the chatbot into websites or apps, we'll have to deploy it as an API using fast API. So I'm going to go ahead, save this, go back here, close this, clear it out, and first I can say pip install fast API uvcon. These are two libraries that we need. It's installed, clear it out. Next thing is creating a file called app.py here, and in here from fast API import fast API, import request app equal to fast API. So this will create a fast API app. Next, the Olama URL is localhost 11434 API generate. Next, let's create the endpoint or make it post endpoint with chatbot, and I'll create the function chatbot response based on the query that is passed. Payload is model DeepSeek R1 prompt answer customer query based on the query that is passed false, and I'll say response equal to request.post Olama URL JSON is payload. I'll say return response.json get response no answer available. And to run this API, so I have this by basic default, but you can add all these extra functionality in here, but I'm just going to run it with this in my terminal here, and it's running now. So I can just copy this here, and to call this API I will go ahead here, create a new, make sure it's post slash chatbot slash, and it needs a query. Also query is how do I get order for my status, or get status for my order. Send. It's going to call that API again. It will work fine. It will give me it. I'm not looking for an FAQ item here, but you can create that list of items here, and then accordingly, depending on the response that we get from DeepSeek AI, we can accordingly pick which one you want to display here. Go ahead. Oops, I'll go and make sure that, so go back into this here and look and wait for a few seconds. And there you go. It took a few seconds, and then I have my response here based on the solution. As I consider reaching out directly or using payment processor sites if platform specific features are unavailable. By following these steps, you should be able to locate the status of your order efficiently. It gave me a bunch of different reference number lookup, log into your account. So it gave me a bunch of different options, which is based on some of the standard techniques that are available online. So there you go. We have our answer here, and I hope you were able to follow along and build the application and also the API here. Now just to go ahead and talk about what we built today, we built a working AI powered customer support chatbot. We created a web app for interactive chat. We enhanced chatbot with fallback responses and multi-language support, and finally we deployed the chatbot as an API for integration. In the next video, we will be looking at personal AI assistant.